Hello, and welcome to the Open Source, the project management program provided by the Tactical Kaizen team. Welcome to our next online learning module, Data Collection and Analysis for a Successful Simplification Project. Big data and analytics are at the core of making intelligent business decisions. However, to make those decisions, it's critical to clean data, process it, and manage it efficiently. The data quotes above underscore the importance of data and analytics in a digitally transformed world. For many aspiring project managers, the topic of data comes the last, but I hope these data quotes will change how you think about data. Today, gathering data to help you better understand your customers and business is relatively easy. In fact, it's become so easy there's the danger of having too much data to deal with. The best-run companies are data-driven, and this skill sets businesses apart from their competition. Data helps you understand and improve business processes so you can reduce wasted money and time. Have we missed any of your favorite quotes about data? Or do you have any thoughts on the data quotes above? Let us know. Identifying and collecting data for a successful simplification project. By the end of this module, you'll understand the basic concepts of data collection and have learned why good data is important to your improvement projects. You'll have been introduced to the various types of data that can be collected. In the course of the module, we'll walk you through a data collection scenario and introduce you to data collection planning. Throughout entire program, we will be leveraging the Kaizen framework for driving improvements as a combination of agile plus lean practices, used together in a systematic way, so that it improves the level of employee engagement, while also improving bottom-line business results. The ability to collect the right data and to perform an analysis the right way, is the make it or break it moment of every project. Let's start by looking at why we want to collect data. We need data to understand what elements need to be changed to simplify or improve a process. The data can help us to understand past, current and potential performance of the process we want to improve. To do this successfully, we need to collect the right data accurately and in a methodical way. This means evaluating the objectives and goals of your project, defining the indicators that represent those objectives and goals, identifying the data required to measure the indicators, collecting and collating the data, representing the data in an effective way. So when and why would we want to collect data? We need data to understand the past and present performance of a process when we seek to improve it, and to help us look for significant changes in performance indicators over a period of time. It allows us to look for connections between process factors that may have an effect on the overall process. Data can help identify what works and what doesn't work, and it provides credible evidence to stakeholders that areas for improvement have been identified or that applied solutions have been effective. In the following pages, we'll look at what needs to be done to identify relevant data to your improvement project. First, you need to understand the objectives and goals of your project, then decide on the questions you want to answer to support the objectives and goals. Then you need to define performance indicators. We collect data based on these indicators to help answer the project questions. The next step is to determine how to collect the right amount of data in an accurate and cost-effective way, and finally to plan the data capturing activity itself. Let's examine how project objectives and goals lead us to ask the questions we need answering. In this example, we've identified an improvement project focused on the effectiveness of the billing department. We already know that there are a great number of returned invoices due to billing errors, and that our customer satisfaction is decreasing. With this in mind, our objectives and goals for this improvement project could be to improve invoice accuracy across all branch offices. And the goal will be to reduce inaccurate invoices by 50%. In turn, we can develop our questions based on the objectives and goals. These questions help to define what needs to be analyzed, in order to better understand our past performance, and where we should focus our improvement efforts. Therefore, in this case, we will ask, what is the average invoice accuracy across all branch offices? In collecting data, it helps to understand the different types of data available to us, because collecting the right kind of data ensures that the data collected is fit for purpose. There are essentially two types of data, which we call continuous and discrete. A set of data is said to be continuous if the values, observations belonging to it take on a value within a finite or infinite interval. You can count, order and measure continuous data. Examples of continuous data can be seen in the left side table. Data is said to be discrete when it can take on only certain values, for example, good, not good or yes, no, answers. This type of discrete data is known as attribute data. Discrete data that can be counted, but again can only take on certain values, for example, number of failures per week. Examples of discrete data can be seen in the right side table. There are two other data concepts that we also need to be aware of, a historical data and gathered data. Put simply, historical data is data that exists on past performance indicators and usually resides in databases, data warehouses, spreadsheets and reporting tools. Historical data helps to analyze trends over a period of time up to the present. If it exists, then it should be easy to capture via tools or data dashboards, or via spreadsheets. Gathered data needs to be collected, it's live data and is collected in real time, by the project team. It can be based on samples of transactions or opinions, allows the project team to observe the process in operation, and can be enhanced via interviews to provide further insights into a process. Whereas historical data already exists, gathered data takes some investment to collect. Whereas historical data can be gathered via tools such as databases, spreadsheets, company records, there are times when we need to gather new or current data. To do this, there are several options available. The table above introduces three methods: surveying, interviewing, and observation. Each has their advantages and disadvantages and should be used with due consideration to the needs of your project. We would advise you consult a data analyst or process expert to ensure your data gathering effort produces valuable results. Once you've identified the data you want to collect, then it's time to build a collection plan and develop a capturing mechanism. The collection plan is useful for ensuring consistency in the collection process, and records what, where, and how of your collection process. The data collection sheet is a custom data sheet used to record the actual observations. And this is an example of a collection plan template that you can recreate or modify according to your need. In the practical phase of this program, we will select the specific collection approach to fit the real project you'll be working on. As we conclude this module on data collection, let's remind ourselves of some key points. The measurement must be important to the customer, easy to understand, sensitive to the right things, promote appropriate analysis and action, driven by business objectives, lead to process improvement. And the data should be easy to obtain, relevant to support the objectives and goals, statistically valid. The data should have an appropriate sample size. Too much data is costly to collect and to analyze, as too little data will limit your ability to identify defects. Finally, let's review what we've learned in this module. We've reviewed the basic concepts of data collection and why good data is important to simplifying or improving a process. You've been introduced to various types of data that can be collected. We briefly reviewed a standard data collection plan and data collection sheet. I hope you've enjoyed the data collection module and that you will find its contents useful as you work on your projects.